Hello everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and today we're going to make a two-player tic-tac-toe game in Python Turtle. So let's just jump right into it, okay? First thing we want to do is we want to change the speed of our pen so that it draws quickly. We don't want to wait around forever. So I'm going to change the speed to 8. You can go faster or slower based on your preferences. I'm also going to set the pen size to be 5. I want it to be a little bit thicker than normal. And I'm going to change the shape to be an arrow because I don't want the turtle shape to be there. And next, we have to create the grid for our game because tic-tac-toe is a grid of 9 squares. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is pull our pen up and go to the place where we're going to start our box, essentially. We're going to go to -150 by -150. We're going to turn to the right 45 degrees. We'll put our pen down, and then we'll draw a rectangle. I know I just said rectangle and I'm typing circle. That's because we're going to use the circle function to create a circle with 4 sides, which is basically a rectangle. So it's going to be 210 by 360 degrees with 4 sides. So let's run that and see what that does. There we go. We just created a square, and inside the square, we're going to create 9 more squares to make our grid. Alrighty. So let's turn our turtle to the left by 45 degrees. Let's go forward. Let's say 100, so we're going to go right around here. Let's turn left 90 degrees. And let's go forward to 295. So there we go. We've got the first line. Now we just need to turn to the right 90 degrees. So this is going to be line 1 here. And let me give myself some space on the screen. There we go. And we'll say line 2. We're going to turn right 90 degrees. We'll go forward 100. Let's turn right another 90 degrees. And then go forward 295. That should create our second line coming down. And it does. Now we just have to create the other 2 lines. So I'm just going to write those. I'm not going to talk through it too much because we already know what we're doing. Line 3. Left 90. Forward 96, left 90, forward 100, left 90, forward 295. That should come up here and go across. Now we'd be here. We need to turn. So line 4. We need to turn right 90. So 90, go up 100. Okay, so right 90. Forward 100. Right 90. Forward 295. All right, so that should create our grid. Perfect. So now that we're there, now what we need to do is we need to start basically giving our user some instructions. And the instructions are going to come down here in this section. But we need to ask them to enter their moves and whatnot. So the way this is going to work is each box is going to be represented by a number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to ask the user, enter the number of the box you want to put your symbol. They're going to type a number, and it's going to be entered, and it's going to draw their symbol in one of these boxes. Okay. So first we need to handle how many moves we've taken, because there are only 9 possible squares, so we don't want to keep going after we've filled in the 9 squares. So let's create a variable called moves, set it equal to 0. And then what we're going to do is basically, while we still have moves left, we're going to keep playing the game. So everything else in this game is going to be inside of a while loop. We'll say while moves is less than or equal to 9. So again, everything else in this game is going to be inside of this while loop. All right, let's handle player 1, because player 1 goes first, and player 1 is going to be a blue circle. It's going to be pretty easy to draw blue circles. Let's change the color of the pen to blue. And then, so we're going to change the color to blue, and then we're going to change, then we're going to create let's create a variable. We'll call it P1 choice. And it is going to, I'm going to make that a lowercase c so it's easier to type later. And we're basically going to say P1 choice is going to equal a number. We're going to ask them what number of grid they want to use. So it's going to be a number, so we're going to create it, cast it as an integer. And we'll say input, enter the number, and we'll just leave it there. We should give our user more instructions. We should probably say, like, welcome to Tic Tac Toe, and give them some directions that you would want to do above handling our moves. But we're going to keep it simple for right now. All right, now let's pull our pen up so that we don't draw while we're on our way to the box. So the way this is going to work is basically we're going to have a series of if statements. We're going to say if P1 choice equals 1, we're going to draw a circle here. If it equals 2, we're going to draw a circle here. If it equals 3, and so on and so forth, right? So let's do the first one. If P1 choice equals 1. Well, we want to go to this area here, and then we want to put our pen down and draw the circle, okay? So go to, and this is going to be negative 100, because we're starting on the x. We're starting here, so we'll go negative 100 on the x, so we're roughly here. And then we'll go 60 on the y. So negative 100 by 60. We'll put our pen down, and we will draw a circle with a radius of, say, 35. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. So we draw our grid. Okay, enter the number, 1, and it draws a circle, a blue circle, right there. Okay, perfect. Now we just need to do the rest of these squares. Luckily, it's going to be the same structure, so we can copy and paste. Okay, so if P choice equals 2, this is going to be 0, because we're going to stay in the middle here. So it'll be 0, and it'll go up 60. If P1 choice equals 3, we're going to go positive 100 up 60. Okay. If P1 choice equals 4, then we're going to go, we need to go down 35, because we're not going to want to start in the middle, because that will draw our circle here. So we're going to go down 35. So that would be, so it's going to be 100 or negative 100 on the x and negative 35. Oh, let's test that. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted. 5 is going to be 0 on the x, negative 35. 6 is going to be positive 100, negative 35. 7, which is this corner down here, is going to be negative 100, negative 135. So that'll be negative 100, negative 135. Okay. 8 is going to be 0 on the x, negative 135. And then if you've been following along, you should already know what's coming next. 9 will be positive 100, negative 135. Once we've done that, then we want to improve moves, or we want to increase moves by 1 so that we know we've taken a move, right? That's, believe it or not, that's your entire first player, okay? So the first player is already set in. Let's go ahead and test each of these just to make sure they all work. Okay, 1, 2, oh, I hit enter too fast. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So we can draw a blue circle in each box. Next, we want to handle player 2, which is basically the entire game, right? We're basically almost done. And I'm only going to show you how to create the first part of player 2, and then I'll let you figure out the rest. Player 2. So we're going to change the color to red to begin with, because we want to draw a red X. Let's clear that real quick. We want to draw a red X. P2 choice. So we're going to do the same thing we did with player 1 up there. We're going to ask them to enter, how did we exactly put it? Enter the number. Actually, what we'll do is we'll say P2, enter the number. And up here we'll say P1, enter the number. That way we get kind of, we can see who's actually playing. All right, and then we will pull our pen up and we will start going to the boxes. So if P2 choice equals 1, we want to go, oh, hold on. Let me fix this real quick. If P2 choice is 1, meaning we go over here, we want to draw an X in this area, which means we're going to need 2 lines. We can't just draw a circle, right? So we're going to need 2 lines here. So first, we're going to want to go to where we're going to start the first line. That'll be negative 140 by 60. We're going to put the pen down. We will turn to the left by 45 degrees, so we get a diagonal, so we can start on a diagonal. We'll go forward 100, pull the pen up, go to the place where we're going to start the second line, which is going to be negative 63 by 60. We will turn left 90 degrees, so we point in the opposite direction. Go forward 100, turn right 35 degrees, and pull the pen up. Okay, so let's see what happens when we do that. So we'll run it. Okay, enter the number. You can't see it on the recording, but I'm entering 1. Oh, I just put, I forgot that was player 1. Oh, did I forget to put the pen down? I did. I forgot to put the pen down. This is why we test things. All right, let's run it again. Okay, let me put the circle in a different box this time. Put it on 9, 1. There we go. Now we've drawn the X. So that's pretty much the concept. Now, all you have to do is do the other 8 options here. Now, there's one other challenge that you can solve if you want to. Basically, the challenge is, let's say, oh, wrong. Let's say you do this, where you have 2 moves being done in the same box. That technically shouldn't happen. So here's a fun challenge would be, figure out how you can solve that problem and keep 2 moves from being in the same box. Essentially, if a box has already been used, then we turn off that box and it can no longer have moves placed in it. That's an option. That's a challenge you can try to fix. Other than that, just finish your... did I just delete all of my... Hold on a second. There we go. Finish this here by adding in the other 8 states. You have to figure out what the coordinates are going to be for those X's to draw the X's. Once you do that, you have a playable game. There are just some features that we might want to add later. If you have an idea on how to implement that, go ahead and do that. But other than that, once you get player 1 and player 2 movement down, then go ahead and turn in this project. All right, thanks for paying attention, and I'll see you next time.